Hey friends, thanks so much for stopping by. It's Laurie, and today I'm making a Dollar Tree Ladybug Wreath DIY. Getting started, I'm going to be using two of these 12-inch love signs from the Dollar Tree. I'm also using one of the wooden 7-inch circles from the Dollar Tree, and this will become the ladybug's head. Once I remove the label and the hangers, I'm then going to use my black acrylic paint and give them each a coat. Once I have both of my pieces painted and dry, I'm then going to give each of them a coat of Mod Podge. Once both pieces have set up and dried, I'm then going to use my E6000 to attach them together. I placed some on the lower half of the smaller circle. I then decided how large I wanted the head to be, and I placed the body on top of it. To make the wings for my ladybug, I'm using the second sign. I found my center point and I cut the sign in half. Now using my white acrylic paint, I'm giving both sides a coat. I'm going to be wrapping the wings, and I'm using this ladybug skirt that I found in the toy department at the Dollar Tree, and for the antennae, I'm going to be using this ladybug headband. I need to take the skirt apart, so I'm using my seam ripper, and believe it or not, I have had this since the 7th grade, which was a long time ago, and I'm just removing the waistband and the back seam. Once I was done, I then ironed out my long piece of fabric. I wanted to share with you today that I am participating in a Dollar Tree wreath collab, and it's being hosted by my sweet friend Leeny from Krafty Leeny. She creates so many wonderful DIYs and has an amazing channel that I will link below, along with the collab playlist. If you're enjoying my video, please consider clicking on that little red subscribe button below and leaving me a big thumbs up. With my ladybug wings dry, I'm placing one onto my folded fabric, and then I'm cutting out two pieces. I placed one piece of my fabric right side down, and then I placed one of the wings on top of it. I ran a line of hot glue along the bottom edge and then folded over my fabric. I added some hot glue to the top and folded over the edge of my fabric. And now I'm adding some glue to the bottom corner, folding over the edge of my fabric, and then from there I'm just going to work my way around up and over the wing. As I'm adding the hot glue, I'm gently pulling against the fabric and attaching it to the back of the wing. After I made my first wing, I then made my second, and I tried to match the dots up as closely as possible, so when the two wings were put together, they looked like a perfect set. Adding the ladybug wings to the body is super easy. I just decided where I wanted them to be. Then, using my glue gun, I attached them both into place. Now that the wings are in place, I'm going to add the antennae, and I'm simply removing them from the ladybug headband. On the underside of the ladybug's head, I just used my glue gun and I attached them into place. I'm making a bow to cover where the ladybug's wings meet, and I'm using 1.5-inch ribbon. I'm using some buffalo check ribbon from Michaels and some red and white that I already had on hand. Using my bow maker, I'm starting with the white, and I'm making 2 6-inch tails and 4 4-inch loops. This time I'm using my buffalo check ribbon. I'm giving myself 6-inch tails and 4 3.5-inch loops. I'm finishing off with my red, and once again, I'm giving myself 6-inch tails, but this time I'm giving myself 4 3-inch loops. When I'm done, I'm then securing the whole bow together using a piece of floral wire. I then gave it a quick fluffing, and I cut the tails away at an angle. I removed the excess wire, and then using my glue gun, I attached it to the back of my ladybug. When you're done, you can hang it up as is, but because this is a wreath collab, I'm going to be adding mine to a white flower. To make my white flower, I'm starting with the 14-inch wire wreath form from the Dollar Tree. To attach the fabric, I'll be using 24 of the white chenille stems. I'm adding 2 per section, and I'm just kind of evenly spacing them and twisting them into place. I'm tightening them as much as possible, but I am going to go back and use my glue gun to attach them in place. Now that I'm done, and to keep them from moving, I'm going to place a dot of hot glue under each of the twists. To add my center chenille stems, I'm placing one next to a support, and then the next one I'm centering in between the 2 outside stems. While you're adding them, you don't have to be super fussy that they're exactly in place. As long as they're close enough, that will do the trick. When I was done, I once again used my glue gun to attach those in place as well. It might look a bit scary now that you're done, but I promise you it will all disappear. For my flower's petals, I'm using 3 of the white fabric table runners from the Dollar Tree. I removed them from the packaging, and they each have 2 pointed ends. I'm gathering one of the pointed ends about 2 to 3 inches, and I'm tucking it under the outside wire support. I'm then attaching the fabric by twisting it between 2 of my chenille stems. I'm now going to tuck the 2 sides of the fabric under, and I'm making a small poof, and I'm going to bunch it together about 5 inches or so, and then I'm going to attach it to the next 2 stems. From there, I'm just continuing on, making sure that the 2 sides of the fabric are tucked under, and then I'm adding about a 5-inch poof to the next set of chenille stems. As I'm working my way around the wreath, I'm just kind of fluffing up the fabric as I go. When I come to the end of the table runner, I'm just going to take the excess fabric and tuck the point under the wreath form. To start my next table runner, I'm tucking the pointed end under the last chenille stem. I'm then continuing on, making sure that both sides of the fabric are tucked under and attaching it to the next set of chenille stems. Once I've made my way around the wreath, I'm going to attach my last poof onto the first set of chenille stems. I still have fabric left, so now all I'm doing is moving onward to the inside circle and just following the exact same instructions. When I'm done and I'm adding on the last table runner, I'm just following the exact same instructions by tucking the end under the wreath form and then just working my way around, adding the poofs to the chenille stems. When I was done, I then tucked all my chenille stems under the wreath form. And to finish, all you need to do is tuck the pointed end under the wreath form. To finish up, I then worked my way around the wreath and I puffed up each of the petals. With my flower complete, I'm going to be adding on my ladybug, and I just decided where I wanted to place it, and then using my hot glue gun, I just attached it to the fabric. I'm adding some ribbon accents to my wreath, and I'm using this buffalo check ribbon and this polka dot ribbon that came from Michael's, along with some red and black ribbon that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I'll be adding on 8 bunches, so I cut 8 sets of the 4 ribbons at 10 inches each. Now that I have them all cut, I'm going to be dovetailing the ends of the buffalo check ribbon and the polka dot, and it's super easy. All you do is fold the ribbon in half and then cut away at an angle. To attach my ribbon sets together, I cut 4 pieces of floral wire in half. I added my buffalo check ribbon, my red ribbon, my polka dot ribbon, and then my black ribbon. I folded them in half to find the center and then attached them together with a piece of floral wire. When I was done, I then had 8 bunches of ribbons. I'm attaching the ribbons to the wreath by wrapping the wire around the chenille stem and twisting it underneath. I continued working my way around the wreath until I had them all in place. I'm going to add on a simple flower accent, and I'm using these pretty red flowers from the Dollar Tree. I popped 9 of them off of the stems, and then using my glue gun, I attached one in the center of the bow on the top of my ladybug. I then attached one in the center of all the bows on the wreath. I think this is a riot. We have a wood stove, and sometimes in the wood little critters will kind of hatch. And so I never noticed, but if you look to the extreme left of me crafting this wreath, you will see that I had a little visitor. I think it's a stink bug, and I never even saw it until right now in my video. To finish up, I used my scissors and I cut the ends of the red and the black ribbons at an angle. I gave them a good fluffing, and when I was done, my ladybug on a flower wreath is ready to hang. I hope you enjoyed making this ladybug wreath with me. If you're new here and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to come back and hang out with her again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below and tap on the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.